So, news is coming out regarding Disney's Daredevil, Born Again. And I'm going to keep an eye on them because, and I'm going to tell you why, is because he's my favourite character with Captain America from the comics. I'm talking about film and TV now. I'm just talking that I'll go way back with those two characters. They're my favourites, as you know, I pointed out many times. And you know, I'm a big lover of the character. So I'm keeping an eye on Dismal Minus. And news is coming out about the two showrunners and the writers they've got for the show. And they're up. It's gonna, but I think it's gonna be the same old thing. But let's just talk about it after the scroll. Bonjour. So before we get into it, before we get into Daredevil, and I know I've said, you know, how far I go back, and I can't reiterate that enough. And if you do, and if you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you've seen the Netflix Daredevil, and how absolutely superb that was for 3 series, and then they followed it up with a Punisher. Well, this is going to give you just a little taste compared to what Dismal do. This is the latest run of Daredevil. This is my Daredevil. And when they say they want to do a softer edge, look, here's Elektra. Yeah, she was in the Netflix series. This is all the latest stuff. I think this is bang up to date. Look, oh, he's even got a beard now. I don't mind. Awesome stories. The Punisher as well. It's tied into the new Punisher story. But we're not here to talk about comics. But I just thought I'd quickly show everyone. This is where Daredevil is at still in the comics. And that's where Netflix left the character. And then he turned up in She-Hulk. And look what they've done to him. Just look what they've done to him. And then when you think, all right, 18 episode, Charlie Cox, I did do a video on it, he come out with a lighter tone, and they're choosing the Born Again storyline, where Karen Page is a heroin addict, and he's on the streets. Now, it's confusing already with the lineup of writers they've got. Because, do you remember when they did She-Hulk, and it was supposed to be a legal drama comedy, and they didn't hire anyone with any expertise or talent, full stop, but in brackets, or any kind of legal sense, or maybe it'd come off you know, something that might have given them a little bit of grounding in a program for a legal drama comedy, like legal comedy, whatever you wanted to call it, courtroom drama, whatever. This show, they're saying, and I did say it before and I'll say it again, this is going to be Born Again in name only, because they've chosen a really grim story that has kind of, most of it's already been done by the Netflix Daredevil. So all right, I know that Dismal have decided they won't do a series 4, because why would they do that? So they're starting with series 1 again with a lighter tone. All right, that could still work. That could still work. But there's no courtroom, or there's hardly any courtroom drama in Born Again. But what they've done is one of the writers, David Feige, was a lawyer, and he's written for TNT. He's written Raising the Bar, and for ABC, a series 4 Life. He's written so TNT and ABC. I don't know what David Feige, and he's no relation, by the way. Well, I don't think so anyway. Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? So he's a lawyer, and he's written for 2 legal dramas. Okay, now that, to be fair, in and of itself, that's quite a positive hire for me. The next one, Thomas Wong, and this is where it all. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. This is where it all goes downhill. Thomas Wong. Now, this is another former lawyer, right? So already we've got 2 former lawyers, and he's got expertise. He's a former lawyer, and he wrote he's written for a CBS series called Bull, a legal drama called Bull. All right, and again, so that's 2 of them now. But if this was in She-Hulk, I would have thought, all right, they've got a couple of blokes on board here. This bloke, though, on his Writers Guild of America profile, he's listed as having expertise in a number of issues issues, including race and ethnic, food and wine, sexuality and gender, oh, here we go again, and legal courtroom procedurals. And this is what I mean by going downhill. Now, the third one here, Zachary Reiter, he's also got a background in law, according to the WGA. And he was an assistant district attorney in real life before he got in with all this, in all this, you know, writing and stuff and producing and that. He worked on Law and Order and CSI New York. So we've got 3 writers with legal backgrounds. And now, I know it's 18 episodes. But for me, to keep the comic thing going, my spider sense is tingling right now. Because we know how cheap Dismal are with their... So it's a little bit of prediction time. As much as I'm announcing the news of all this, a little bit of prediction time. 3 legal writers on it that specialise in legal dramas and procedurals. On an 18 episodes of Daredevil. We know where a lot of this series is going to take place now, don't we? And do you know why? Because it's cheap. It's cheap to keep Charlie Cox in a suit and bang on and on and on and talk. When we know what Dismal Minus love doing. They love talking and they love walking. So walking backwards and forwards to the judge, back to sit down, sitting down and talking. It's superb. That's just one little prediction. So anyway, we're still sliding downwards, by the way. Now we get to the next 3. No, these aren't the legal people now. These are the ones being brought in. And it isn't all bad. Like I say, if this David Feige or Thomas Wong or Zachary Reiter, if any one of those was included with these 3, you'd think, oh, okay, that ain't so bad. But 3 legal writers and 3... Let's go through it. Well, this first one, Grain Godfrey. I'm assuming Grain is a woman, to be fair. I've researched what they've written, which is Arrow, The Flash, and 20 episodes of DC Legends of Tomorrow. So do you know what? Again, in and of itself, that's a good hire. That's a good track record. I mean, I don't know what episodes, you could accuse the Arrow and the Flash of only having a good first couple of series and stuff like that. But nevertheless, these are writers with, a proven track record. I could sit here and say, oh my God, more CW coming to Dismal Minus, and oh my God, they're ruining Daredevil. They are going to ruin it. They are going to ruin Daredevil. Don't worry about that. But I can't say it's down to their fault. This is going to be a proper shower. We know this. Devon Klieger was a producer on 3 short films and a little animated doll thing called Rainbow High for young girls, like pre-teen girls, animated. So there's our lighter tone. There's our lighter tone on this show. Born again as a doll. And just the cherry on this little cake I'm assembling here is Jill Blankenship, producer, right? Or former producer. I think she's coming on board to write this one. She was the showrunner and co-creator of Naomi for the CW. One of the final nails in that channel's coffin. Naomi. And again, I'm not here to do a video on that and go on about, you'll have to do your own, But she had, what I don't understand is she's got 33 episodes of writing behind her on a series called The Last Ship, which it had five seasons. And it did really well. So, all right, you've got to know that the Naomi's the latest thing she's done, so she might be going down a rabbit hole of all that stuff, and we don't go there now, at the moment. So she might be going down that Naomi rabbit hole and all the things that made that bad. And we know that a lot of it is what's making a lot of Dismal Minus's content bad, particularly the Marvel stuff. Very, very bad. Overseeing these 6 creators is Chris Ald and Matt Corman, and they've collaborated on 4 previous projects, right? Now, okay, that's fine. Now, they did 5 series together, producing Covert Affairs, right? From 2010 to 2014. So 5 series of anything, I think you're doing well. That's great, lads. So what have they been doing for the other 8 years? I'll tell you what. A series called Containment, which was cancelled in 2016, 1 season of 12 episodes, I think it was. NBC, The Brave, it was called, about military behind enemy lines. And I think it was quite well received audience-wise, I believe. I never watched it, and I never watched Containment either, which wasn't so well received, I don't think. And then The Enemy Within. Now, that was 2016, Containment, 2018, The Brave, and 2019, The Enemy Within. Each series lasted 1 season only and was cancelled. So everything nothing they've done for 8 years has gone beyond 1 series. So again, I'm just going to put it out there as a theory that they come cheap, because this is what Dismal are. They are cheap. We know that they're cheap with CGI. We know that they're cheap with actors. And this is kind of going that way. I mean, they haven't been cheap with writers when they've got 6 writers on this show. But I'm kind of going to leave it there for everyone else to cogitate over all this. Because you've got, you know, they're decent enough showrunners, these 2 guys. And like I say, you know, on their own, like maybe 3 of these writers together, there's not a lot you could attack them for. But why do you need 3 writers across 18 episodes that all they've done is legal dramas? If it was a legal drama, yes. But isn't it? I know he's a lawyer, Matt Murdock. Yeah, I know, I get that. I remember reading that somewhere in one of the comics. But 3 writers, one of which is an expert on race and ethnicity and sexuality and gender. So that's going to come in well handy. Oh, and food and wine. So we got all them bases covered, haven't we? We have to cover certain bases for Dismal, don't we? Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I just thought I'd bring all this news together for you and give you my airing, because I'm keeping an eye on them, and I'm going to keep reporting on it as I find the news out. And this was released on the WGA page, website, whatever you want to call it. It's all on there, because there's not a lot on IMDb. Even when I've tried to look into these creators, they're not putting that up there yet. But on the WGA, you've just got their little profiles, and then you can go on IMDb and search what they've done. Which the 3 legal guys have got a decent track record, to be fair. They've all got decent track records in different shows, for different series, for different channels. And all right, Chris and Matt, the showrunners, they did do 5 series of something decent, you know, and it was a CIA operative, so that was a bit actiony, and, you know, it needed a bit of espionage and things going on. So come on, let's hope they can kind of rekindle the fire with the help of these 6 writers. Now the next step is knowing, like, who's really going to be in charge. And as the casting announcements start coming along, and then we'll see it starts taking shape. But I suspect out of the 18 episodes, there'll be a good few hours in the courtroom by the looks of this. And I will leave it there, and check out the Daredevil comic in the meanwhile. It's just a good read. It is nothing like anything Dismal Minus are doing. Just read the comics again. Read the comics again and Punisher. And I will bid you adios.